It says, do not be afraid, for I am with you. Do not be anxious, for I am your God. I will fortify you. Yes, I will help you. I will really hold on to you with my right hand of righteousness. Isn't that comforting to know that as we draw close to Jehovah, as we face Satan the devil's wrath, Jehovah's right there with us to help us. He's the one that's fortifying us. That's how he treats his special possession. And we can take confidence in that he's going to help each one of you baptismal candidates on this very special path that you've chosen for your life. But now, how does Jehovah help us? How does he help his special property, if you will, to face the wrath of Satan the devil? Well, let's talk to 3 of our publishers in our circuit who have been faithful in their service despite facing many challenges in their lives. We want to see how Jehovah has helped them. First, let's talk to Sister Pacina Grady. She's a publisher in the Anacostia North congregation, and Sister Grady's been baptized for over 4 decades, so she has experience. In fact, 21 of those years she spent as a regular pioneer. So let's talk to her. Sister Grady, tell us first, though, how did Jehovah help you to qualify for baptism?
Well, first of all, I got baptized when I was 14 years old. So I got a lot of help from my mother and the elders in the congregation. They helped me to maintain wholesome association, and they always encouraged me to make spiritual progress, and certainly never held me back from baptism. They encouraged me to do that. So I think that, along with constant prayer to Jehovah, really helped me.
Okay, that's very encouraging that at a young age you had such support from your family and even from the elders. But tell us about the challenges you faced since baptism.
Well, first of all, I've always dealt with health problems, even from an early age. I think the first life-threatening surgery I had, I was in my early teens, and I was confronted with the blood issue. But I have to tell you, the last 3 years have been really trying for me and have really tested my faith. I went in the hospital with what was supposed to be in and out surgery, but it turned into 5 different, difficult, life-threatening surgeries. It kept me in and out of the hospital and even confined to home. The second thing that happened during all of that is, if that wasn't enough, I lost my mother in death. So now I'm dealing with things physically and emotionally. Because of my illness, my husband had to turn over a lot of his responsibilities as an elder because he had to take care of me and our daughter. And our daughter, I felt, had to grow up before her time because I wasn't around to take care of her. And now her grandmom was gone. So that led to the third thing that I had to deal with, which was depression. Because of dealing with all of that, I found myself going through bouts of depression.
Well, Sister Grady, that's quite a load to carry. But now we want to know, though, how did Jehovah support you through all that?
But Jehovah was really there to help me. The whole time, I just kept remembering that Jehovah's not going to allow me to be tempted beyond what I can bear. But the wonderful thing about it is that I didn't have to bear it alone. All of the elders were there to help me. I'm even doing things like making sure I had literature to place when I was in the hospital. But then there's the congregation. The whole congregation was there. I mean, it wasn't unusual for me to call home from the hospital and find out that the sisters had put my husband out of the house so they can come in and take care of meals and things for the family. I have to say that the congregation took care of me, my home, and my family. Because of them, my daughter now has a lot of spiritual mothers and fathers. So Jehovah kept me in his hands and took care of me by using all of you.
Okay, thank you, Sister Grady. Thank you for your very encouraging experience. So next we'll talk to Brother Tim Walker. He's a pioneer and a ministerial servant in the Marshall Heights congregation. So, Brother Walker, to you, how did Jehovah help you to qualify for baptism?
Well, I grew up in Eastgate, in Southeast D.C., And when I turned 16, I decided to take on that life that I had grew up around. And this life consisted of illegal drugs, immorality, and violence. By the time I was 26, I had been arrested a handful of times. I had been shot 5 times on 2 separate occasions. And a whole lot of the friends in my group had died. One including was my best friend, who just so happened to be my little brother, who chose to follow me in this life. So I was caught it took me 4 more years to realize that Jehovah had the real life. But I was caught in between my loyalty and commitment and reputation with my crew, which had changed because I had become angry from being in this life. It changed from being loved by a lot to feared by many. So I was caught in between them and Jehovah. So I had to pray to Jehovah to help me to make the right decisions, choose the right course of life. I had to study and meditate to find out how I was supposed to be living according to my prayers and according to Jehovah's will. And Jehovah proved to be there with me because on July 1st, 2006, I made a public dedication to him.
Okay, thank you. We're certainly grateful that you were able to make that step. Now, it would seem that your challenges would have been over, but tell us, did you face any challenges after your baptism?
Well, I made the mistake of thinking the hardest part was over after baptism. And so my prayers began to slow down. I became unfocused on my study and meditation. This allowed Satan to pay a return visit on me. I became angry again. Eventually, I had to be removed as a pioneer. Shortly after that, I had to be disciplined by the congregation. And then I lost my job. My family was hurting spiritually. No one was making progress.
Well, that's interesting. Now, through all that, though, we asked you the same question. How did Jehovah prove to be with you and help you through all those challenges?
Well, I was on the brink of giving up and quitting. But then Jehovah helped me to focus on the future. How would my life be with Jehovah? How would my life be without Jehovah? After focusing on the future, I realized that without Jehovah, I'll be dead in a week. So what do I do? Well, I had to go back. What got me to this point, communication with Jehovah. I had to pray to him more intense now since I was baptized. I had to go back to studying, meditating, finding those hidden gems more now that I was baptized. And Jehovah once again proved to be with me. Eventually, I was put back on the regular pioneer list. Shortly after that, I was appointed as a ministerial servant in my congregation. Some of my duties now are I'm the field server, the group server. I conduct the B school for the theocratic ministry school, and I give public talks. This past month, I experienced the joy of going back, attending the pioneer school for the 2nd time. This time, I attended it with my beautiful wife. My father-in-law was one of the instructors. As far as my family, my oldest daughter is attending meetings and making progress. My stepson is on the school and an unbaptized publisher. My oldest stepdaughter is baptized and a continuous auxiliary pioneer. And to add to the privilege of being here today on this particular part is that my other 2 stepdaughters are in the audience as they're making their dedication today.
Very encouraging. Thank you so much. Next, we'll talk to Brother Rolante Roach from the Mitchellville congregation. And Brother Roach, too, is a pioneer and a ministerial servant in his congregation. And he recently served at Brooklyn Bethel. So, Brother Roach, we'd like to ask you, too, how did Jehovah help you to qualify for baptism?
There were 3 things that helped me to qualify for baptism. The first was a strong love and desire for the things that I was learning. I thoroughly enjoyed my studies. It really excited me. The second thing was my new association. I didn't grow up in the truth. So most of my friends were non-Jehovah's Witnesses, but as I began to study and associate with those in the Christian congregation, the brothers and sisters became my new friends. So as I started to associate with them, they replaced my former associates, and now they were supporting me in this new lifestyle that I was trying to pursue. And the third thing that helped me was the decision I made to leave a 4-year institution that I was attending in Daytona Beach, Florida,